Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. This video is about Donald Trump being the Antichrist. I believe I have overwhelming evidence based on what I watched in the video I provided you in the last video. And I wrote down the stuff that person said, and so I'm just going to reread it to you and just restructure it in my own words. Hope you guys are doing well today, wherever you are. Before I even get into that, I don't know how long I've been making these videos, maybe 2 years or something like that. We've worked up to this point. We know full well that this can only appear as a falling away is happening, right? So that man of sin will be revealed. You know that to be scripturally true. So I'm having a lot of problem with my throat. And just to say, by the way, I got those numbers back. I got that test back, and it was positive for my lower esophageal sphincter being very tight and being hypertoned. So I got my answer. I believe it's achalasia. That's why I have a lot of problems with my throat and all that kind of stuff. But obviously I have to talk with a doctor. That's why I lost so much weight. That's why my life went downhill way back. In any case, do you believe the falling away is happening? Do you believe that watching all of these, what appears like rock concerts and pole dancers and Kenneth Copeland's and Jesse Duplantis and Joyce Myers and Joseph Prince, there's so many, and they're flourishing more than born-again Christians. Why? Because of the internet, and they have apostate churches. You know exactly what I'm speaking about. So I believe the man of sin has been revealed. The whole Catholic Church has gone awry, and what I mean by that is the very top. It has been so obviously corrupted that they're literally bringing idols into their church, having people from all different religions dancing in front of them. They represent over 1 billion people. 1.3 or 1.4 billion people. So we know the man of sin has to be revealed soon, and he has been. I believe it's Donald Trump, and I'm going to prove it scripturally, and what the scripture says, and something I'm going to show you and why it is scriptural, because we have to look at what it is, right, that's being shown to us. So I wrote down some stuff. Pardon me guys, I'm just, I haven't been doing the best lately. A lot of stress in school and just a lot of stuff. I think I'll just do it from here. I just marked these down quick too. Number 1. I wanted to do it an edited video to show you, because as I record this in Windows, I can't put this into the software that I have. If I even record just 5 minutes, it takes an hour to upload, and I have 5G too, very quick speed. Anyways, I need a new software other than Windows recording of what I'm doing here. But in any case, the number 1. So in Revelation 13, right, it says there must, there must be a mark But there are three things in Revelation 13 that you must meet. And one of those is a mark. You're going to say, what are you talking about? Just pay attention. The mark. In Donald Trump's case, all of his life revolves and still does around branding his name. Do you disagree with me? How many things do you think there are that have Trump's name on it? It's everywhere. Everywhere. Go look up how many there are. I think there could be up to 1,000. There's drinking bottles, there's gold foil, there's trading cards, he's made everything you can think of. So he's branded his name. There is a mark. Bear with me. I kind of wrote this down wrong, but so there must be a mark, a number, and a name in Revelation 13. I'll just go. So we know he brands himself. We know he brands himself a lot. That would be the mark. Number 2, the number 666. He puts 666. I'll prove that in a second. Okay, that he does. Do you ever see him making the triangle symbol with his hands? He does it a lot. Just like a lot of people in Hollywood and all those people, they're giving allegiance to Satan when they do that. I don't know, you might want to call that Freemasonry, wherever that originates. I don't study that stuff. But I will come back to 666 and I'll prove that it's on his products. So it says a mark. He brands himself. That's a mark. Number 2, a number, 666. I'll prove that in the Trump Tower building and on his products. And the name Little Horn. Now, test the spirits. Don't take me for what I say. Go look for yourself. What is his last name? Donald what? Yes, Trump. In Daniel 7 verse 8, what does it say? Then a little horn came up and it had eyes and it spoke blasphemous things. Pompous words, right? So when you go and you do the, when you do the translation, and I just ask you to go and do it yourself, it comes up to something called Korin. I don't know if it looks in the Greek or he's looking in the Hebrew. In any case, either one of them would be telling. How do you spell it? Q-E-R-E-N. Q-E-R-E-N. And it goes further to say it's called a cornet. And what is a cornet? When you look up a cornet, the synonym is trumpet, trump. It says trump. It literally says T-R-U-M-P. So the synonym of cornet or Koren, whatever it is Trump. The little horn is Trump. That's a lot of scriptural based evidence, if you ask me. Now listen to this one. Go look for pictures of him with sitting with Trudeau, sitting with whatever leader. When he sits down, he sits and he puts his hands together and he makes a triangle upside down. We know a lot of people in Hollywood do this. We know it's a thing. It means something. It means allegiance to Satan. And who else? So in the video I asked you guys to watch, you put them together, you put the triangle and you put the X together. I have not researched this, but I know it's a cult and I know it's satanic. Who else do you know that is affiliated with X? Twitter turned to what? X? What is X? Well, certainly it's a defilement of the cross, right? I forget what it is when you put those two together. Maybe something to do with the Baphomet or something, but he makes fire come down out of heaven in the sight of men, Elon Musk. Yes, I do believe that is the pair. You don't believe me that Trump is 666? What does it say at the end of Revelation 13? He who has understanding and wisdom, calculate the number of the beast. So I'm going to take you to something immediately. Where did I write that down? It's very interesting to look in, is it in the book of Kings or Chronicles? It doesn't matter, it's in one of them. Where Solomon is acquiring so much wealth, 666 talents of gold. I had to look that up, how much it's worth today. It's about $1.4 billion. It's a lot of gold he got. That's not all he got. But that's the only place in Scripture that we know that there is the mark. What does it represent, though, today? Well, number one, it was gold. And it also represents immense wealth and idols. So how does that correlate to what I'm speaking about? Just think about it. I haven't heard anyone say this. I'm going to talk about the Trump Tower, okay? He's about wealth. Trump is about wealth. Make no mistake about it. That is his idol. Gold and all of it. Has been throughout his life. I've researched his whole life. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, the peacemaker of the Middle East, right, with Trump, just happens to be at 666 Pennsylvania Avenue, the biggest real estate deal done for a building or a real estate deal. They way overpaid. I don't know if this correlates, but it's 666 Pennsylvania Avenue, and they're related. That's very strange. But what does that represent, though? The 666 in Solomon, when you look at the price today, is very close to what he paid for that building. That's one I've looked at on my own that haven't heard anyone else say, okay? So I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, but you better believe that the peace deal that they're going to try to make, they're going to use Jared Kushner again. No, I don't believe it's Jared Kushner. But I believe they will make a deal. Trump says the war in Gaza must be over by the 20th. It's over. Just things like that, you know. It's like, this one will boggle your mind. You and I are supposed to understand that it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. So, you don't believe me? Just go on Google, type up Trump Tower triangle on the 6th floor, whatever you want to do. Look at all angles of that building. But look at the one on Wikipedia. Try to find the older one with the bushes on the front. You know how he makes that triangle symbol? It's giving allegiance to the devil. Listen to this. I'm going to start with this. It's the number of a man. He lives in the Trump Tower on the 66th floor. Wikipedia says that his building is 668 feet. I remember looking at that many years ago and thought, oh no, it can't be. But the architect himself says it's 203 meters, 666 feet. Go research that. Who do you believe, the architect or Wikipedia? It's too coincidental to believe it's 668 when everything else about the building and the man represents 666. He lives on the 66th floor to the 68th. On the 6th floor, go look at this building, man. There is an upside down triangle that goes down like this. Fertility, right? That goes down like this. Semiramis, you think of, those types of things. And there used to be bushes on the front of it, but you can still see it now. On the 6th floor, that's the bottom of the triangle. It goes up 6 and across 6. And you're going to doubt who the man of sin is? 666, right on his building in plain sight. I don't know what else you want. Understand those who have wisdom. I don't know how that ever didn't get out, and because it's not supposed to. I think that's insane. Go look at that building. 666 feet, 66th floor he lives on, and on the 6th floor he made a 666, the inverted triangle. That was designed in the building by him. I believe he knows who he is. He knows who he is, or else the other stuff I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't even make sense. Speaking of 666, you still don't believe me? I'll show you this one, but it's too small for you to see. Just look it up. Donald Trump, so this, he brands himself, he is a mark. $1,000 gold foil bill. Go look at it on Google Images and zoom in to the back of it, not his face, but the back of the bill where the building is. In God we trust. On the bottom right corner, I can see it right here with my eyes. It doesn't matter where I go, it's there. On the bottom right corner is 666. Not upside down, upside up. Right side up. We shall know it by the number. It's Donald Trump. You idiots. No, I'm just kidding. Pay attention. I don't want to turn this around because I have a camera attached to this, but it's pretty easy to find. I'm going to put Trump Tower so you can see for yourself in the thumbnail. Donald Trump gold bill right on the back, the building side, under the 1,000 that goes down. On the very right side, bottom right corner. And I've looked at videos of people's responses to this. What else do you want? Why would he do that? And you bet it's not someone else doing it to him. It's not someone else doing it to him. He designs his own stuff. So there's two massive things pointing towards 666 and his son-in-law. Like, wow. What more do you want of that number to be associated with somebody? Ask yourself that. Is this a joke? This one is huge, but I don't know. I'll say it after this one. DTCs. What's DTC? Donald Trump trading cards. I don't know how old they are, but he's got them. He dictates what's on them, and what's on them is frightening. He has one for almost every single biblical prophecy. He's got one of him in Revelation 6. The crown, of which I'll talk about in a second. He's got a picture of himself on the trading card, holding a pair of scales in his hand and a sword in the other. He's got a picture of him on that dapple white horse. Go look at the trading cards and you'll understand. Donald Trump trading cards. You can probably find it at trumpstore.com or something. All the stuff is there. This one is scary, and this just helps cement the view of this. Pardon me, I got to get off camera for my abdomen. Give me a sec. What did Jesus tell us? He said, you reject me, but when you don't accept me, basically you reject me. But when someone comes in his own name, you will accept. He said that. Right? Isn't it funny how he said his own name? Because it's a name, it's a brand, it's a mark. I had to research this yesterday, and I have researched these. In 2023, the Israel Heritage Foundation, okay? The Israel Heritage Foundation gave Donald Trump, who in Twitter, you can go look at the records, they believe he's like a king, or you go look at this, or like the second coming. That's what it says, and you better believe that made him feel powerful. Because he moved, because of what he does for their people, and because, because he moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. They gave him a silver crown in a glass case. You should see the videos. Go find that of the Israel Heritage Foundation giving it to him. I believe this is a foundation that wants the third temple built. They believe he's another King Cyrus. They do. They call him Cyrus. But when you look in the Bible, the New and Old Testament, does it look like there's going to be another King Cyrus? No. The Jews are blinded while the fullness of the Gentiles come in. They were a stiff-necked people, right? We know that. We still hope that some of them are saved. They gave him a silver freaking crown. Look at seal number 1. Now, I know that could also represent Corona, because that's what it translates to. But they gave him a crown. Who has ever done that to any leader in their history? Like literally. Let alone the modern history. What are the chances of that? And for that matter, what are the chances that all of these would happen in the first place? Remember in my last video, just getting one of them right would be 1 in 5 million, it said, but when I put in the proper coordinates of what I should have, it was 195 million, just for one of these to come true. So giving him a crown, do you think it would be 1 in 195 million? I think it would be a lot more than that. He touched the Wailing Wall, which no leader had done before. He was welcomed in his name. I got to look on the next page here. Let me take this out. We're in that time, guys. I wish I could do this, and I think I still may do one of those videos. I just, I'll actually show you these things and zoom in on them. And a man that should understand sinister schemes in the book of Daniel, right? And he's got a cult following. Do you think Donald Trump understands sinister schemes? It sure seems so. Sure seems so. Like I said, they believe he's Cyrus, number 2. The polling in Israel for Donald Trump is like no other place. No other leader has ever gotten. He has a 99% satisfaction rating. Think about that. And why would all this happen in any other country but Israel? Because it's God's land. I never thought I'd say this, but Daniel 9:27. When you look at the context above it, before the covenant, when you look at the context before it, it appears that it's all speaking about Jesus Christ, right? And Jesus Christ was the one who stopped sacrifice and offering all that, right? But considering this, considering it looks like there's going to be a deal in the Middle East, there's going to be, you better believe it. It's in the works. This is what they're doing. I look at Daniel 9:27 again, and I wonder if it really is about a covenant going to be made. And listen, the way that text appears, I don't believe in a 7-year tribulation, okay? I don't believe pre-tribulation rapture type thing. He shall make a covenant with many for 1 week. And then people say, only God can make a covenant. And that's what I had in my mind. But in Samuel, David and Jonathan, it says flat out, they made a covenant with one another. I had to look and find if in fact there was and there is. It's quite possible that's about Donald Trump, the Antichrist, Daniel 9:27. I never thought I would say that. But what would I be? Would I be a Berean if I did not do that? If I didn't even think about that? Looks like they're going to split God's land very soon. I don't know what's going to happen. That Abraham Accords, man, and who else? Donald Trump, when he was like 30 years old, you can go see it on TV because he says it. I want to make peace in the Middle East. That is, he thinks that's the biggest deal to make on earth because nobody before him could do it. All of a sudden he comes along. All of a sudden he's making peace in the Middle East. And then he had to turn it over to Biden. If he would have won again, that would have happened. So something's gonna happen, you'll see. They're gonna sign something, and I don't know if it has to do with Daniel 9:27. But it could well be. To me that would mean, I believe in pre-wrath, okay? Based on Revelation Seal 6. Revelation Seal 6. Whereas the first indication of God's wrath, it says God's wrath has begun. In like one sentence, and the very next sentence it says his wrath has begun. And we are not appointed to wrath, which lets me know that that's the place where it's going to happen. Seal 1 to Seal 6 is the tribulation. Then the rest is God's wrath, and we are not appointed to that. Sorry, guys. I don't know, since I got those numbers back about my lower esophageal sphincter, It does happen to be particularly bad today on this video. It's like stabbing. But being cognizant of what that is from all these years, it's just really strange, man. It's like there's a knife in my, I always thought it was my stomach, but it was just my sphincter, which is right by your stomach. Just give me a sec. This is part of the reason I have to go in and out of these videos, but I have other abdominal pain too. I got more. So I don't like to eat, and I don't like to drink right on camera, because sometimes it gets like stopped, or you see me have like a wicked spasm in here. So that would make sense why I feel better when I sit down, because it's like when I sit down it relaxes better. Makes sense. Go look at the shekel coin of the Temple Institute. You know what those are for, those shekel coins? So doesn't it have Cyrus on one side, but it has a temple anyways on one side, and they're called the Trump shekel coins. the Trump shekel coins, and that's money to raise for a third temple. So yes, I do believe a third temple is going to be built. We don't know the people behind the scenes that are doing it all, but there have been 9 red heifers in all of our history. What is it, since, I don't know, was it Moses? And only 2 have been used. I don't know what it is, exactly what the guy said, but was it by Aaron and then Eleazar, the priests? Twice, and they're looking to do it the 3rd time. And they have it, I believe, right? What are the chances of all that happening together? Peace in the Middle East. Okay, so the deadly head wound. Now this is a contentious one, is it not? It appears that Donald Trump cannot be killed. How did that kid, not a kid, he was an adult, he was 21 or something. Was it not an AR-15 with a scope on it? And he missed? From 120 feet? You can't be any closer. I don't know what John saw from the book of Revelation, what Jesus Christ said. I don't know what John saw. It could be a double fulfillment. Think about this. In Revelation it says, the beast that was, is not, and yet is. What does that stand for? He was in power. He lost his power, the deadly head wound. Now he's got his power back. And then the world wondered after the beast. Is that not what this world is doing? Is that not what everyone is doing by bending a knee to him? It's insane. You want to tell me the chances of all those things coming true? Now, I sure hope I'm speaking to people who are Donald Trump supporters, because it's time to put down your love for him and put your love on for Jesus Christ. Put your literal put your love of him aside and study to see if these things are true. I couldn't believe when he did this. He brands himself. He went as far. He's the leader of the free world. He went as far as adding to Scripture, the Constitution. The pastors who have spoken out about this are correct, and they've been ejected out of their churches for doing so. Some have, I've seen. Revelation, the end of 21, is it? I think I read this just not too long ago. It says two things. If you add to this book, you shall receive of the plagues of this book. Excuse me. If you take away from it, your name will be taken out of the book of life. So what's pertaining to him and those associated in doing it will receive the plagues of that book. When? I don't know. But that's what it says. I didn't know this part, okay? The man whose video I showed you, which I'm going to put in the description box again. I'm just reiterating what he's saying. Is when you buy the book, it's left on a certain chapter. It's bookmarked. I think he said Jeremiah 27. Why would they bookmark it? What is Jeremiah 27? It's about bowing to the king of Babylon. I'm not going to go further about that. It's about Jeremiah talking about that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to. Why would it be bookmarked on Jeremiah 27? The heading of the thing, even though this isn't the Bible itself saying this, these are the people who are, it says, symbol of the bonds and yokes. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus said the Lord to me, make for yourself bonds and yokes and put them on your neck and send them to the king of Edom, Moab, king of Ammonites, Tyre, Sidon, by the hand of the messengers. But let's go further into this. I have made the earth, man, and the beasts that are on the ground. My great power and my outstretched arm, and I have given it to whom it seemed proper to me. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And then the beasts of the field I have also given to serve. So all the nations shall serve him, and his son's son, until the time of his land comes. I don't have to go further. Yeah, I do. And it shall be that the nation and kingdom which will not serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, it will not put its neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation I will punish. There it is. I don't know, man. But it was. That's where it was left on. Give me another second here. What about the king of the north? In Daniel, is it really speaking of that north, or is it speaking of North America? It's quite provoking, right? In Daniel 11, I won't go further, but seeing as out in North America, see the stuff that Trump is saying about Canada? I don't know. You know full well that he would incorporate Canada for their resources and Greenland. Is it really to take on China and Russia? Or is it really for wealth? It's probably for both, but... Oh man, this one. Go look it up. But I'm going to leave the Trump Tower in the thumbnail. I could leave either one of these. Trump made the Space Force, right? Think of the Star Trek symbol right here, right? On the chest, where they go like this and they talk. Upside down. Triangle. Man. Go look at the symbols. There's more than one. There's more than one that they made. And that's him doing that. And in one of them, it's quite scary. Go look at them. It's an upside down triangle, and inside it, it looks like there's jagged, rocky, like rocks. And in the bottom of this triangle, a pit is a star at the bottom of it. Revelation 9, the bottomless pit. Apollyon. In Trump's, in his building where he lives, he has a fresco, like a big painting of Apollo. That's where he lives. He literally worships the sun god. And what does Revelation 9 say? It says that who's going to come up out of there, out of the bottomless pit? Apollyon, Apollo, or whatever, the destroyer. What kind of more evidence could you want, man? These are things that are all associated with Donald Trump. Just the last thing I'm going to say here. In 1994, I asked you to research and test the spirits. In 1994, and I didn't look at this, I just was writing these down. You know, I watch that guy's video again, then I wrote these down, then I just present it the way I want to. The Illuminati, they have their own trading cards. And in 1994, there's a picture on one of those trading cards. What is it called? The Illuminati Booster Pack, New World Order. That's what it says on them. Go look at it, 1994. On one of these cards is a face that looks, it's like an X-ray of a face, and it's got some features to it. When you look at it, you know who it is. And what he does in the video, so I'll put his video in again. It's at the very end, I think. He overlays a face of Donald Trump, and you're going to see it's him. It's the Illuminati, New World Order. So I'm going to finish off by saying this. You hear Trump saying there's going to be a golden age. Don't you find that really strange after everything that's happened? It makes me wonder if everything was just really all set up like this. But the reason why people are so deceived, I don't blame them in America and the world, but America and North America, is that his presidency the first time was pretty stable. I mean, he had, you know, jobs going, he had drilling, resources, all that type of stuff. But then all of a sudden, you know what happened, right? And it was, our world changed at that moment with, you know what, it changed. Then all of a sudden, we have the most evil administration that we've ever seen. I think you understand that there's hundreds and hundreds of horrific things that this administration has done. I don't know if it's planned in a way that they all know and they're doing this. That sets up people's minds to want a savior and think, oh, here comes a savior. Do you understand? Because it was so bad, because of the things they were doing with trans and these ideologies and DEI and all the catastrophes, you know, that people are just begging for someone who can stop inflation and do all this, and here he is. Here comes a golden age. It's Donald Trump. If you don't think he's the Antichrist, you're blind by now. That's what I think. Who else? Who else do you think it is? And then he makes fire come down from heaven in the sight of men. Lying signs and wonders. Who else would that be but Elon Musk? And all of a sudden they're best buddies. Now, if any other evidence comes up, I will change my mind, not about Donald Trump, but about, a false prophet. And, in my heart, I do have to leave room for things being wrong. I do. That's the best way to be a Christian. It's the best way to be a born-again believer. He marks himself as 666. He worships the devil, guys, and he knows. He knows. You think he's a Christian? He's not a Christian. 2 Corinthians, and you go, yeah, all right, that's good, we hear that, right? They do interviews, they Elon, do you believe in God? This is what they do. They put these people on TV, and then they just want to hear that maybe, there's a shred of something they're looking to. Who cares? All I care about is my true brothers and sisters who are going to go to heaven. Yes, of course, it's a show. God will end this soon without human hands, right? He'll smash it to pieces. You and I have nothing to be afraid of. I just present to you what I see right in my face. Just think about this. Just his building alone, what that represents, what he did there. Man, that's sick. That's really sick. Why does his gold foil bill have 666 on the bottom right corner? Usually they hide that, but not anymore. Thanks for watching.